I hope everybody feels that way. 20 questions, yeah. So let's do as many of those 20 questions as we can in the next hour, and then we'll head to the test. This test can often be challenging for people, so let's get you ready. All right. So let me let you, rather than me just immediately jumping on it, let me give you a second to kind of see where you're at. You guys got your 3x5 card? If you don't have it, make it during this next 55 minutes. You know, just rip out a piece of paper that's about 3x5 and start making it as we go if you don't already have it. You can use the 3x5 card, you know, during the exam. So anything you need as we go this next 55 minutes, write it on that card.
I'm so tired. I've done that right over and over
Good. I mean, that's whatever next to the X, right? You have to solve the y. So for y equals negative 2x plus 18.
Should be.
Yeah. We'll definitely do this. You got
Divided by 4.
it works for you. Yeah, because they do a different thing than
So it's negative 2.
like a curve on what is B? Sorry, B is.
No, you're good. All right, so try number one. Do we all got number one? So try number one. Pretend it's a test. It will be in 55 minutes. Pretend it's a test. What would you do with question number one? Find the slope of the line. See if you know what to do. Use your 3x5 card if you need to. See if you know what to do. Give you another 15 seconds to get started. Because I don't want to preempt your thinking. See if you know what to do. Find the slope of the line. I think you know what to do, but it's hard to keep it all straight, isn't it? Yeah. Because they all kind of start looking alike. They're all similar. That's a lot of the battle, which I hope we'll make some headway on that battle in these next 55 minutes. Let me help you with distinguishing one thing from the other. You know, so when you read that slope, what do? How are we going to find the slope? What do we do? Does anybody know? Y by itself, exactly. That's the name of the game. Is that good? So get Y alone. Get Y alone. Yeah, whenever they give you an equation and they want you to graph or they ask you for the slope, it's get Y alone, isn't it? We do that most of the time, huh? That's the more typical thing we do. Get Y alone. So take that equation, if you have not already, get Y alone, and then see if you can grab the slope. What it is? So 2x plus 4y is 18.
Bless you.
Bless you. Yes. So y is over here saying I want to be alone. So what do we do first to get the, y wants to be all by his own self. So what do we do?
Transfer 2x to the other side.
Yeah, subtract the 2x. Or I just like to jump it, but yeah, minus 2x is fine. Same thing. It's going to end up minus 2x on the other side. Is that good? I just jump it and it changes signs, or you could subtract 2x from both sides. Same result. Good so far? One more step. How do we get y alone? What's always the last step in getting y alone? Divide. It's always divide, and we divide by the identical twin. Exactly. Same sign, same everything of what's next to y, right? And all the way through all three of them, huh? Y is alone now, but we do have to reduce this a little bit, right? What will reduce that? Yeah, divide top by 2, we end up getting negative 1/2. And I really don't even care at the back, because they're not asking me for that right now. They're only asking me for this, because remember, the slope is the fraction next to x when you get y alone. Remember that? So yes, indeed, it is D. Is that good before I move on to another one? Is that okay there? So they ask you for slope, get y alone. It's the fraction next to x. You'll be able to do that in an hour? All right, let's go on to number 2.
These change from hour to hour.
They change, huh? Solve that inequality. Try number 2. Solve that inequality. that inequality. All right, so that means, distribute and things like that, huh? Okay, let me go to a fresh page. Okay, so we get up here. So we have 15x plus 21 greater than 3 times 4x plus 4. Okay, so yeah, distribute 12x plus 12. James has got this whole thing memorized, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so we get to there. Good so far.
Did you try doing the test back?
Now,
No, because I got all this, it was just the last one.
what do we do next? What do you do when you have x's on opposite sides of the wall?
You try to get the X's together.
Yeah, get them together. Get rid of the lower one is usually how I say it, right? When you got them on opposite sides, you get rid of the lower one. Okay, so minus 12x. Boom. Like that. So that's 3x plus 21 greater than 12. And now what do we do? Subtract 21.
3x is greater than a negative 9.
3x is greater than, yeah, that's, you use calculator. If you need, you can use calculators in the test. Negative 9. Last step is always divide by whatever's next to x. Yep. Do I need to flip the symbol there?
No.
When do you need to flip symbols?
When you divide by
Divided by a negative. I'm divided by a regular 3, so I don't need to flip.
It took me a while to figure that out.
I'm glad you did. All right. So that's greater. That's just negative 3, isn't it? 9 divided by 3 is just 3. So x greater than negative 3. So it's that one, huh? B. We good with that? Questions on that one? Are we happy? Can you do that one in an hour?
Yeah.
There's only 20. I like to give not too many questions so you have time to finish them. But the drawback to that is that means they're each worth a lot. So they're each worth 5%, right? Because 5 times 20 is 100. So they're each 5 points. So they're each half a grade. So, you missed 2, there went a whole grade. So, right? Because out of 20, that's 10%.
Do you ever curve?
I had 5. I usually add 5 at the end. So, yeah, really you have 3, yeah. But be careful. That means each one, I really encourage you. I know some people will whip through the test and turn it in 15 minutes and run out the door and make 7 small mistakes. That's what I see a lot. Double check. I used to always bug my poor children when they would take, the older ones, the younger ones, I'm still bugging them. The younger ones say, did you do that test twice? Do it twice. If you have time, I mean. Might as well do it again. You'll always catch mistakes. You'll raise yourself a grade probably. Yeah.
So we take 5 tests total, right? Can you drop
Right.
those 4?
No. 5 tests total and then the final. No, none of that. No. All right, so we good on that one? Let's try another one.
Can we do number 3?
Yeah, let's do number 3. Let's graph that one. Graph number 3.
Oh my god.
See if you know how to graph this.
I'm just tired of graphing now.
Graphed it 7 times. So you gotta solve for that x, right? Graph, they get that x. No, we're always getting x and y alone. So solve for that x.
I don't like this. That's a nasty decimal too.
I'm going to solve for x. So grab that minus 25, jump it, x is in, I won't be alone. All right, here's the wall. So jump that negative 25 to the other side, becomes a positive 25. Good so far. And now what do we do to get x alone? Divide by the negative 3. And yeah, I would just use my calculator probably. Divide that. What is it, 8?
8.3333.
Yeah, a bunch of 3s. I'll just say 8.3. It's negative, by the way, because one positive, one negative is negative when you multiply or divide. Right? We get to there. Okay, now, what does that mean? So at this, rather than me just saying, let me give you 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Let me let you. So graph it right here on paper. I mean.
This side, right? Between 8 and 9.
Graph this. Okay, so what kind of line is it?
Vertical.
It's perfectly straight, one way or the other, right? Remember when they just have one letter, they're not slanted at all? They're just straight or straight. You're straight flat or straight up and down, one or the other, right?
You can actually solve for y using this.
There's no y though.
But y is equal to 0.
That's different. Y 0 and no y in the scene are two different things. There's no y in the scene.
Okay, see, the way that my brain interprets that is to solve for x and y.
There's no y in the scene.
Okay.
That's what you need to tell your brain. It's not y equals 0. So we only have x. So what do we do when we only have x? Just like you were saying, x-axis, huh? Go to the x-axis, x-intercept, negative 8.3. So this is the x-axis, negative 8.3. I don't know, where is that, like right around here? It's roughly there. It's good enough for the multiple choice thing. In fact, I'll show you the options. Was that good? It hits the x-axis at negative 8.3. Is that good there? So let's go back and see the options there. Okay, so try that one. There it is at the top. Y less than negative 3. So this is one of these that only have one letter again, huh? Right? It just has one letter, so we know it's not slanted at all. It's perfectly flat or perfectly vertical. How do you know which one? Well, which axis does it have to go through? The y-axis at negative 3. So that's right here, right? Because that's negative 3. Down, that's a 3. Down 3 on the y-axis. Everybody good with that? Now, there's shading those. We can clearly see from the answers. There's shading. So is the shading going to be above the line or below the line? How do you know?
Below the flex.
It's all about this y, right? You don't even need to look at anything else. Just grab the y and the symbol next to it. What does that say? Y is less. Where are the lesser things?
The bottom.
Below the line, huh? Below. Yes, so it is B, isn't it? Question?
Yeah, question. I noticed that on this preview, all the lines, the solid lines and the dotted lines are already.
Good observation. You look close at this thing. I like that. Yeah. In other words, it's already dotted, huh? And mine should have been dotted. I'm messing up a little bit, really. Right? She's right. It should have been a dotted line. There we go.
So is it going to be that way on the test?
Yeah. So notice you're not even going to have to worry about dotted line, solid line. They'll give you all one kind. So it's not an issue. You're totally right. Yeah. Is that good? So they're already dotted for us. We don't even need to worry about the dotted solid thing. They won't test that. I won't test that. There was just too many things to test. So. Well, so I'm testing the shading though, right? Because they're in the same line is shaded below here and it's above there. So you do got to know which shading on that. It's below, right? Why less? Lesser stuff's below. All right, we good? I want to do the hard ones with you so it can be a useful time for us. So let's do that one. That one tricks people. So try that one. Try that one, guys and gals. That one tricks people. What do we do to graph? What do we always do to graph with the equation? We get y low. It's always about getting y low. So. And feel free to write anything on your 3x5 card right now as we're going through. If you realize, oh yeah, I didn't even have that on my card. Be adding to your card as we go. I'll give you another minute to that. Feel free to do it. Check with those around you. Feel free to talk it out with those around you.
dividing by -4.
The flip.
Yeah, they each one half. No, I understand that you need to overuse the water, and that's why we're having.
All right, so we got to get the y alone. Let's grab this guy and jump him, or add 2x to both sides, same thing. And so we get minus 4y plus 2x plus 8. Good so far? Now what do we do?
Divide by -4.
Divide. We always divide. And what? Yeah, we divide by the identical twin.
It flips.
Exactly what is next to y, right? All right. Can you guys make sure you whisper, please, so everybody can hear? So does that make sense? So divide by -4. And what do I got to do? Flip it. Is everybody good with that? Super important. That's the step that fools a lot of people, right? I'm dividing by a negative. So flip the symbol. Right? So right there, boom, I've got to turn the symbol the other way. When you divide by a negative, you got to turn the symbol the other way. All right, what do we got? Y's alone now. Now what is this? What's positive? Positive over negative is negative, and it reduces to a half, doesn't it? And that other one's also positive over negative, -2. Is that okay? Is that too quick? Do you see what I did there? See how that fraction 2 over 4 reduced to be 1 over 2? Right, I just reduced the fraction. Right, I just divided by 2. Top and bottom became 1/2. And it's negative, right? Because 1 positive, 1 negative is negative. Same thing here. 1 positive, 1 negative is negative, and the bottom goes into the top. 4 goes into 8 2 times. See why this is a 2, but that's a half?
Yeah.
Because on the 8 over 4, the top is bigger. That's going to be a whole number. Right? 8 divided by 4 is 2. Right? Whereas in the fraction, the 2/4, the bottom is bigger, so that's going to remain a fraction.
So the -2 is going to be your y-intercept. It's
Right.
going to be 0, -2. That's going to be 1 point.
Yeah, so our first dot is right there, exactly. Down 2 is our first dot in our graph. This is where you start your graph. Down 2 in the middle. Are we good with that? Questions on getting that equation? Is that okay how I got that equation? All right, so now, and then where do we go to find the second dot? So the first dot is at down 2. It's whatever number's out here. Down 2. How do we find the second dot?
Down 1 over 2.
Yeah, rise and run. So the now where do we put that negative? I usually throw the negative on the top, huh? Don't put it on both. That would be wrong. 2 negatives would actually be positive. That would be the mistake. I just throw it on the top. Rise over run.
So go down 1.
So down 1 over 2. There's our other dot. Everybody good with that? Down 1 over 2. Rise over run. Question? So then connect those dots. So like that. Now we still got to decide the shading. So far so good? Everybody good with the graphing there?
Because y is greater than.
Y is greater.
Y is greater than.
So it says y is greater. Greater. Where is the greater stuff? Above the line or below the line? Above the line. Greater stuff is above the line. It's going to be D, isn't it? It's this one. Is that good? Everybody see how I did that? Get the same answer on your own there? Everybody okay with the equation stuff? A lot of steps on the equation. You got to remember to flip the symbol. Start it down 2, go down 1 over 2, start it down 2, go down 1 over 2, connect the dots, and then y greater. Remember, all you look at for the shading is just the y and the symbol. Don't worry about anything else. Y greater, where's greater stuff? Above the line. Greater's above, less is below. Questions I can answer? Let's see. All right, let's try that one. Same kind of thing, right? Graphing again, got to get y alone. Got to try some get y alone. So solve for y there. So let me jump in and help. So if you jump that x to the other side, it becomes a negative x, or you can subtract x from both sides. Same result. Huh? Good so far? When something jumps to the other side, it changes the sign in the front. What do we do now to get y alone? Divide by the 5 all the way through. The symbol does not flip, correct. Is everybody seeing that? Why does it? Because I did not divide by a negative. I divided by a regular 5. So no symbols flip. Keep it as it is. Okay. All right. Are we ready to graph? Go ahead. Start your graph.
The y-intercept's going to be negative 1/5 and 0.
Go ahead. I know people get messed up here, so I'm going to let you go ahead. All right, where this is our starter, huh? It's kind of weird. It's a fraction. So that's why I wanted to help you with this one. This is exactly the point I wanted to help you with. Because a lot of people look at that and they get confused and they start doing something that isn't right. So remember, you can leave it 1/5 if you want. It's just the starting dot, though. It's not the rise and run. The rise and run is what's next to the x. We'll get to that in a minute. But this guy out here is just one dot. It's your starting dot. If it helps you, you could divide it on your calculator and make it the decimal negative 0.2. That might help. You don't have to do that. Right? If you did 1 divided by 5 in your calculator, it would be 0.2. And it's negative, right? Negative 1/5, so negative 0.2. So maybe that helped. Let me do a little graph. I'll just do it right over here. So if this is negative 1, negative 2, negative 0.2 is just like right about there. It's barely down at all. That's our first dot. Does that make sense? It's not like, because I know what I've seen in the past, students have asked me some good questions in the past. They said, Mr. Aaron, so don't I do like down 1/5 or something? No, that's what we do. We will do that for what's next to x. That'll be the rise and the run, the down 1/5. But this, no, this is not next to x. So it's just your starting dot. It's just one dot. It's not two movements. It's one movement. Down a little bit. 0.2. Down 1/5. I had 1/5 of the pie. I had 0.2 of the pie. It's just a little bit. It's not even a whole. Does that make sense? It's not two movements. The two movements is what's next to x. That's where we do the rise and the run. Whatever's off to the right, that's just one movement. So that's why I say it might help you just make it one number. You know, if you want to divide it in your calculator, make it negative 0.2. But you don't have to. You can leave it. This is down 1/5, right? It's down a little bit, right? Make sense? Now from there, where do we go from there? From there, there's really a negative 1 in the top of that fraction, huh? So that's now comes my two movements, my rise and my run. Go down 1/5. So how do you go down 1? Well, you go down just to eyeball it the best you can. A little bit below 1. It's just going to be multiple choice. Over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm out of room completely. But that's basically it. Down 1/5. Connect the dots. It's going to be a line like that, huh? You still have to do the shading. But so far so good. I went down 1/5. Because that rise was negative again, so that's down, huh? Down 1/5. Now, which side do we shade? Above the line or below the line? Just look at y and the symbol. What does that say? Y greater. So do I shade above or below? Yeah, greater is above. So now look at yeah, it's got to be D, doesn't it? Yeah, you're right. It's got to be D. And that's the trick. It's always D on the shading ones. Oh, I'm kidding.
Don't say that. Oh my God.
Has been a couple times here. No, don't count it. I have no idea what it is. It's random. The computer randomizes it, so I have no idea. Don't count on that. So does that make sense, though? It looks like D. Questions? We good? So watch out. People get fooled by that one number on the right. That one number on the right. If it's a fraction, just divide it, make it a decimal, if that helps you. It's just one movement, not two. All right. All right. Determinant of the graphs, parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So what do you do to take a couple of equations and determine if they're parallel, perpendicular, or neither?
Get y alone.
Get y. Isn't that the answer to everything so far? Get y alone. That's right. Get y alone. If in doubt, Get y alone. Yeah, unless there's no y, then get x alone, huh? All right, so yeah, let's take that equation. Let's get y alone. So I'll jump the 3x over. Negative 3x plus 8, divide by the negative 4. Y equals, this is two negatives. What do two negatives do? Positive. One positive, one negative? Negative. So there's that one. Let's take the other one and get y alone. Okay, do them both, right? So jump the 8x over. Divide by the 6. 8, 6, we reduce it, right? Remember, you reduce all fractions that you can reduce. So divide by 2. Top and bottom, minus 4/3 x plus 4/3. All right, so great. So we got y alone. There's our two equations with y alone. Now, what does that mean? What's their question? Parallel, perpendicular, neither. How do you know that? Yeah, you look. Where do you look? What numbers are you looking at? Yeah, the slopes, huh? We're looking at negative 4/3 and regular or positive, if you want, 3/4, huh? When you get y alone, next to x is the slope, huh? So what?
They're perpendicular.
They're perpendicular. Why? Because what? They're upside down, and one's negative, one's positive. You got to have both things. Put that in your 3x5 card if you don't have it. It's got to be both things, right? It's got to be upside down. Because, like, what if they were both? What if they were both negative?
Then it would be neither.
It'd be neither. It's got to be upside down and one positive, one negative. Totally the opposite. So that one's perpendicular. Good there? Try the next one. Let's see. All right, try number 8. Andy left 50% tip for a meal that cost $52. Total cost. You get your calculator right? See if you can whip that out. So we take the $52 price, right? And we're going to take 15% of it on your calculator, right? So what is that? Like, what is it? Is it 780? This is 780, and then you add. So you get 5980. Is that what it is? D? It's always D. Is that good? Make sense? Just take 50% of it and add the original. You know that. All right, let's do number 9. High school graduating class. 601 students. 91 more girls than boys. How many boys? So we're getting into those word problems now. See if you can set up the formula for that. Remember what I told you about word problems. There's always going to be 2 players in the game. One will be playing X, the other will be an X formula. You guys remember that? You need to, that'll really help you. Everybody hear me? Is my voice coming through? Am I doing the Charlie Brown teacher, the 111? Will you hear me? Okay, this will really help. This will really help. Word problems, 2 items. One is just simple X. The other's an X formula, like X plus 10 or X minus 3 or something like that. Right? With me? It really is that simple. 2 items. One is just X. The other's an X formula. Just think that way. You read a word problem, I mean like a real word problem like this one. Not, the last one was just, numbers. We didn't even need an X in the last one. But this one, which is a real word problem, you read it, you say to yourself immediately, plain X and X formula. So we're just going to go X plus X formula equals total. I mean, that's pretty much, that's almost always what we do, right? X formula, total, okay? So X, what's the X formula? Words. X formula comes from the words. You tell me, where are they saying something is 7 times as big, something is 6 less, something is 5 more, something is, where do they say something like that?
There's only 91 more.
91 more. 91 more. More. It's more add or subtract? Add. An X formula with more and 91. What's that got to be? X plus 91.
91 divided divided by 2 is 255. There's 255 rows.
Equals total 601. We good? Does that make sense how I did it? The main mistake people make is they forget the other x. They'll just write x plus 91, just one x. That's wrong. Is everybody hearing me on that? You always have two x's because you have a plain x and another x in the x formula. You always end up with two x's. You're never going to just have one x. Well, almost never. Almost never. It's almost always two x's. So plain x and the next one. All right, so there's our equation. How do we solve that? What is x plus 91? 2x plus 91, huh? Just add those together. I'm running out of room. So 2x, I'll bring it over here. 2x plus 91 is 601. Subtract the 91 from both sides. 2x is something, I don't know, 510. Divided by 2. 255, number of boys. We good? Hey, what if they'd asked for the number of girls? How do you know that's boys and not girls?
Then you do 255 and add 91.
Yeah, it's all about the words, right? There's 91 more girls, so the x add 91 is the girls, and the plain x is the boys, right? So we could do either one. All right, let's do. We got one more here on this page. So number 10. Let's do number 10. Jim has gotten. Well, maybe I better get a fresh. All right. So Jim got 68, 72. What does he need on the third test? Average 75. Let me give you a second. Remember how we do these? 68, 72x divided by 3 is the total 75. Remember, that's how you average things, right? You add the three of them up and divide by 3. And you want that to equal 75, right? They want an average of 75 or greater. You want it to equal 75. Or greater. Come on, 75. Does that make sense? So it's, his first score was 68. His second was 72. What's the third? I don't know. Call it x. The 3 add up, divide by 3 equals 75, right? Put that on your 3x5 card. If you don't have it, you put that example. Put that exact example on your 3x5 card. There's probably an average one on the test today. I don't exactly remember, but sure could be. So, all right, so now can you solve? I know so I've seen a lot of people do that good, but then stumble how to solve this. Let me let you do the next step. So begin solving that for x. What do we do? We got a fraction. Fractions are always a pain, huh? What do we do about that fraction? You put this over 1 and you go diagonal, diagonal, just like with the slope stuff. Whenever you have a whole number on one side and a fraction on the other, put that whole number over 1 and go diagonal, diagonal, cross, multiply, right? Make sense? We do that for slope all the time. We'll do that in a minute with these slope ones. So what do we get then? 68 plus 72 plus x, all times 1. And then 3 times the 75. You lay it flat, huh? Cross, multiply, and then lay it flat. So 1 times these guys doesn't change anything. 3 times 25 is, 3 times 75 is some number I don't know. 225? Thank you. And then this is 140 plus x. I just added these together. All right, and last step, subtract the 140. X is what, 85? He needs 85. Good? Are we happy? So remember that for sure on the test today, fraction on one side, whole number on the other. What do? Put it over 1, cross multiply. All right. Let's keep going. All right, number 11, another word problem. Rectangular Persian carpet, perimeter, 196. All you need is rectangle, 196, perimeter. So don't say it out loud. Give everybody a chance. See if you can come up with a formula on that one. This is a really good one to put on your 3x5 card if you don't already have it. Definitely want this formula on your 3x5 card for today. So this is the best way to make your 3x5 card as you go through the class. See what you need.
4W plus 52 equals 1.
Yeah, remember what's the formula for perimeter? 2 L's and 2 W's, huh? Yeah, perimeter. If there's a perimeter problem on the test day, I don't even remember. 2L plus 2W. Yeah, equals the, what is it, 196? That's the perimeter? Yeah, because right for a rectangle, you have a width, a length, and a length. So to go all the way around is 2 L's and 2 W's, huh? All right, so there's the formula. Now, but that does not change what I was just telling you a minute ago. It's a word problem, and every word problem we have, one of them is a plain X, and the other one is an X formula. So like the L, or the W, doesn't matter which one, let one of those letters be plain X. It'll change from L to plain X. And let the other letter, like the W, become some kind of X formula, like X plus 7 or X minus 3. Does that make sense? Again, I'm trying to feed that drum so it's really clear in your head. Always, almost always, wish I could say almost, but almost always in word problems, one of the items is plain X. The other one is an X formula. And how do you get the formula? Whatever they say in the words. Johnny is 7 years older. That's X plus 7. Susan is 3 years younger. That's X minus 3. Younger is subtract, right? Mark is 4 times as tall. That's X times 4, right? Whatever they say is the other X formula. So I'll just let the first one be plain X. Doesn't matter which one. The other ones, whatever they're saying, what are they saying? 26 more. 26 more. So the other one is 26 plus X, or X plus 26. The order doesn't matter. If it bugs you, I'll put the X first. It doesn't matter, though. Equals the 196. So everybody seeing that? Is that making sense? See how one of them's always plain X and the other's an X formula? Always, almost, always. Distribute 2X plus 52. Here's the wall. X is saying I want to be alone. So what do we do next? Yeah, 2X and 2X. 4X. Subtract the 52. 144. Last step is always divide. That's some 36? X is 36. Yeah, so now how do we know which thing is which thing? Well, you just say, okay, one of them is 36. Let me hold on. I don't know if that's length or width. Let me just hold on for a second. How you know is just read the words. It says length 26 more. Length is 26 more. So wouldn't that be 26 added? 50, what's that, 62? So the length must be 62. So the 36 must be the width. Did I do that too quick? Do you see how I did that? Yeah, is it none? Looks like it's none of the above, huh? It's disturbing, isn't it? After all that work. I know. Sorry, I gotta make sure you're just not guessing your way through the test. So there are a few. Like on the last time, there will be 4 maybe 5, something like that. I don't exactly know. That'll be E. That'll be none of the above today. It will get its fair share, right? 20 questions. It's 1/5 the odds, probably 4. Probably 4 of them will be E's on today's test. I don't know. It could be 3. It could be 5. Something like that.
I got A. And it even gave A is the right answer on the,
Yeah, it's A.
it's A, because you're gonna X plus 26 equals 196.
It's easier if you draw a picture. If you
All right. I want to get to those 19 and 20, so let's keep moving. Number 12. All right, so try number 12. This is a hard one. This is another hard one. Definitely number 12, 3x5 card. Definitely. It's the last word problem, I think. 8% raise. Remember, percent increase, percent decrease? Remember those problems?
D or C.
Yeah, so you should have it on your 3x5 card right now. Otherwise, you really aren't trying hard to prepare for the test. You want to keep going as a college student. That's the kind of thing successful college students do. That should be on your card. Because we went over that, right? That was a major concept. That was on the practice exam. That was in the homework.
I had resonators for 955, 950.
Yeah.
So like I have a really easy way to solve.
Yeah, she has some good techniques.
Okay, so like.
No, I'm not going to, we don't have time, and I don't want to confuse people with other methods. You can talk to me later about it privately if you want to, but no public on different methods. All right, so what was the method I gave for increase, decrease? X plus for increase, minus for decrease. If you get a raise, is that an increase or a decrease? It's an increase. X plus percent X equals new. Isn't that what I gave? For increase. And if they gave you a decrease, like if they have something on sale, they're on the test today, there's certainly one of these kind. I don't know if it's like an increase or decrease. They have something on, the shoes are on sale for 20% off, right? That'd be a decrease. Oh, something has tax on it. That's an increase, right? Or the raise is an increase. Decrease is the same formula, it just has a minus, right? All right. So here we go. It's X plus percentage. What's the percentage? 8%. What do you do with 8%? Good. 0.08, not 0.8, huh? I see that mistake a lot. 0.8 would be 80%. Yeah, remember decimal goes back twice. 0.08 equals the new price. What's the new price? Or the new salary? $25,920. That's the new salary. Right? Now making. It's the new salary. All right, so how do we solve for X there? Yeah, this is 1X and 0.08X. Add them together. It's added 1.08X, right? And last step's always divide. Is it just 24,000 straight?
Yes.
So that was what she was making before the raise. Good? Percent increase, percent decrease. Put those on your 3x5 card. All right. Yeah, there's two kinds. Kinds where I give the slope, kind where I don't. Yeah, make sure you can do both those. Whoops, that's not the one I wanted. There it is. All right, so try that one, guys. Try number 20. Definitely put this one on your 3x5 card, number 20. There's going to be two of these on the test today. Just like there's two other questions. That's a full grade. It's a full grade, right?
Yeah. Where's the Y1? 2.
What formula do we use? M equals, and this is the one with the blanks at the back. Remember I said just use the slope formula with the blanks at the back. Well, how do you know? Because they're not giving me all four numbers. Now, a couple of the other problems, I'm going to go back with the minutes we have left and do those ones where they give you two numbers. Yeah, those we plug all four into, right? But if they just give us like, 3, 2, that's just two numbers, then those go in the blanks in the back, don't they? Right? And the slope, that goes right there. So minus 2/5 goes right there. And then behind the y, put the y value. Behind the x, put the x value. Yeah. And careful, don't mess those up. I've seen a lot of people on tests go, 3, and they just put the 3 there like that. That's not right. Why is that not right to put the 3 there? The 3 is an x. Yeah, watch out. It's not natural because normally we like the first thing to go on top, but it's reverse, isn't it? So you got to be intentional and careful. The 3 is an x value. The 2 is a y value. Is that good to there? Now, what do? Diagonal, diagonal, cross multiply. What do you do with a negative on any fraction on today's test? Top, right? Just throw it in the top. It doesn't go on both because two negatives would be positive, right? So put that negative on the top and go boom, boom. So negative 2, x minus 3, 5, y minus 2. That good? Remember these kind? Two of these on the test today. And this is the easy one. We're going to go back and do the harder one in a second. And now you just distribute everything and see how you got to get y alone. See all the answers have y alone? So it's nice having multiple choice. You'll be able to, you don't have to remember. You just look, they want y alone. Okay. So multiply it all out and get y alone there. Boom and a boom. Minus 2x plus 6. Boom and a boom. 5y minus 10. And now y wants to be alone, so add the 10. Right, y's here saying, I want to be alone. Get rid of this stuff with me, so add the 10. So 5y is negative 2x plus 16. Last step is always divide all the way across.
Y is alone. There it is. Minus 2x plus 16/5. What is that one? Is it? It's D. It's always D. Was like everything D on this test? Don't be getting mental during the test. You're not being mental with me. It's random. I just told the computer to random it. So it's. I'm not trying to trick you or anything weird. Don't think it's been 7 D's in a row. It can't be D again. Don't get mental. Just answer the right answer and move on. It's random. Good on that one. Let's go back and do the harder one now. The slope, right. So if we do 19, we've really done the other slope one as well. So it's kind of nice. 2 birds, 1 stone. So try 19. Yeah. See now, see on 19 they're giving you the 4 numbers? So you do the slope thing again, but this time you put in all 4 numbers. And then you're going to have to do the slope thing a second time with the blanks in the back. That's why this is the hardest problem. No, equation. See all the answers? Equations. Oh, because that will distinguish the right answer? Yeah, you're right. Good observation. Yeah, I've noticed that before. That's right. You can tell which one it is. Yeah, good job. Yeah. All right, so slope. So this is where we do all 4s. Everybody see how I know that? And the last one I just did the blanks at the back. It's because we have all 4 numbers this time, huh? So this is x1, y1. And this is x2, y2. First point's x and y. Second point's x and y, right? So y2. And notice there's subtraction symbols built right into the formula. Right? So that's in addition to any negative signs plugged into the thing, right? So y2 is negative 2 minus y1 is 6 over x2, 2 minus x1, negative 9. Everybody tracking with all that? Yeah, so there's the minuses that come from the formula, and then some of the numbers are negative as well. Yeah, these guys are going to be plus. So it's going to be negative 8 over 11. Yeah, you see how you can already tell what answer it is? See, multiple choice is great, right? It's got to be C. Now, let's go on and do the rest, just in case they gave you 2 answers that had the same slope. I don't know what it'll be on today's test. But yeah, you can already tell. Well, it could be none of the above. It could, right? If this part at the back is wrong, they could be tricking us and it's none of the above. So really, that's why I put none of the above in there, because then you have to really do the problems to be sure. Yeah. So we have to finish it. It's probably C though. It's not A, B, or D for sure. Let's go on. So that's the first part. We found the slope. Everybody good with that? With the 4 numbers? Now you do the M thing again, because we got to find the equation. We don't have the equation yet. We just have the slope. Back to the blanks thing. Yeah. So we go back with the blanks. And now you put either pair of numbers. It doesn't matter which pair. You can grab the negative 9, 6, or the, you can't mix and match, or the 2, negative 2. Put them in the back. You can do either pair in the back. And the slope in the front. So negative 8 over 11. Y minus, and I'll just grab the first pair. The negative 9 behind the x, the 6 behind the y. I could have grabbed the other pair. Final answer will be the same. Is that good? And then go diagonal, diagonal. So it'll be negative 8, x plus 9, this double negative is plus, equals 11, y minus 6, like that. I'll go dot, dot, dot. I want to show one other one and we'll be done. Is that okay there? Just distribute, get y alone, like we did in the last one. That good? All right. So, well, is it good? I don't want to flash out. Put that on your 3x5 Put that whole example if you want. Well, probably don't have enough room for all that. I keep saying throw everything on there. But if you have some room, put that whole example. There'll be 2 of those on today's test. 2 of these, find the equation. And how will you recognize them? Find the equation. Find the equation. Yeah. And y is alone. Totally. Yeah. Is that good? See how to recognize that? All right. Number 18. All right. Can you do 18? 65 is 30% of what number? So just remember, we write these straight. I'm going to give you a chance. You should check them, but we write them straight. 65 is, what does his mean?
equals, just change it straight into a math figure from English to math, straight. And what does of mean? Of means times.
So I'll just write it up here. 65 is, that means 65 equals, huh? 30%, what do we do with 30%? 0.30, right? Decimal goes back 2 places. Of, what is of always? Times. The what what's the what number? That's your x. See how I went straight from English to math? 65 equals 0.30 of what number times x? Yeah? And then we just solve for x. Here's the equation. X is saying I want to be alone. So that's always divide by 0.30. I can't do it. Somebody have an answer there? 216? 0.6 is forever, which is what, C? Yeah, it rounds. They rounded that last digit to 7. Are we good? Are you ready to take this thing? Questions? Last call for questions? All right.